Pastor John Ramsey Sr., and this is the family room. We've been gone for a couple of weeks, and as you can see, First Lady is on her way. She'll be in about 10 minutes or so. But we're glad to be back on. We've been off for a couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, week before last, we were in Nashville and a part of an amazing marriage conference. I really think by far the best marriage conference I've ever been to before. So it was exciting. It was a great time. First Lady and I had an opportunity for the first time to teach together, and we had a ball doing it. Hey, what's up, my man Lloyd? Good to see you, man. Thanks for ringing in on us. As you guys, you know how to do it. As you guys come in, just make sure you give us a thumbs up, emoji, what's up, give us a little something. And if it's your first time, please let us know if this is the first time that you have joined us on the family room. If you're from out of state, let us know what city you're from because we definitely want to give you a shout out and we appreciate people coming on. But it's been 2 weeks since we've been on. I see Lauren is in the house. Great to see you. Marvin in the house. Miss Jackie's in the house. Who we have here? I want to say this right. Miss Rena. Miss Rini. Miss Rena. I think that's how my wife is good at that. I'm horrible at it. But I'm so glad that she's here as well. And as you guys come in, Timothy Wright is in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you. Marie's in the house. Miss Mays is in the house. Good to see you. I call her Wall Street. I call her Wall Street because she know how to handle her business. Jackie is in the house. So we appreciate all you guys being with us. We're going to have a great time today. Today is Flow With Us Friday. And so I'm going to talk about a couple of things as First Lady is on her way. Connie's in the house. Thank you for being here with us. So I'm going to talk about a couple of things. Miss Tracy, we got to have you in the house. Really appreciate you. Going to talk about a couple of things kind of leading into her and I talking together here in just a few minutes. But again, we want to welcome everybody on. If you're on Facebook, make sure you share it, that you get the word out that we're on. Let other people join on with us. Really, you guys are going to be one of the best evangelistic tools that we can have. If you share the information out there, if you're on Facebook and you're watching it from that platform, we really appreciate it. And this is the family room. We've been out for 2 weeks, and we're glad to be back in the house. First Lady is on her way. She'll be here in just a minute. But I do want to remind you guys of something that we're going to be doing that's exciting, that I'm going to be doing that's exciting for tomorrow. We're going to be doing a workshop. We're going to be doing another financial workshop. It's absolutely free. You do have to sign up and register. And all you have to do is go to our website, newlifeindy.org. And I want to tell you that this one is going to be different from the previous ones because this workshop really is designed about establishing a financial legacy. And so we'll talk a little bit about the fundamentals of finances, but then we'll go to that next level about investing. We'll talk about all of those things. Again, I'm not a licensed financial investor. You guys know me. I've just always had a passion for it. So I've studied about these types of things for years. And then I study it from the biblical perspective as well. And hopefully we can put some things together. That is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Listen, folks, it does not cost you anything. All you got to do is take a minute to register. Go to our website, newlifeindy.org, and you can register right there. And tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock, we'll be on from 10 to 12. So it's 2 hours that we're going to be on tomorrow. And we're going to have a great, great time. And looking forward to you guys being a part of that. We also give you an opportunity to ask questions, give feedback, throw out information. It's a great way. And even for you guys that are very solid financially and you're pretty astute in that area, there's always something that all of us can pick up. Every time we do one of those, I do one of these, I always pick up something from someone that's online with us. And so we're going to try to see if we can patch Miss Lauren in with us tomorrow. And I'll talk to Tamika today, Lauren, to see if we can make that happen. And I want her to talk a little bit about life insurance because that's her field of expertise. She's very, very solid at that. And if you guys have questions and things of that nature, we can kind of interact with that as well. James Ward is in the house. Thank you, James, for being here. Miss Griffin is in the house. So glad that you're here as well. So again, Flow With Us Friday. We are moving a little bit slow today because of our workouts the last 2 days have been brutal, but we made it through and we are in the house. Listen, if you guys have not been watching Midweek Bible Study, the last 3 weeks that I've done Bible study, I think one of those weeks in there was Pastor Nicholson. But the last 3 times that I've done Bible study, I've been teaching on the names of God. And I'm telling you, you got to go back and watch those. Just go to our website and you can watch it from there. You can go to New Life. You should be able to go to New Life's YouTube page. If you can't, let me know in the feed, or let me know, send us a message. Let me know that, and I'll make sure that you can connect that way. It's absolutely free. It doesn't cost you anything. So you can go on and check out those 3 Bible studies. This week, I talked about from John chapter 10, where Jesus started describing himself as the good shepherd. I talked about the names of God, and also Psalm 23. Talked about the names of God, and this was number 3. This was the message number 3 in the series, Jehovah Rohi, R-O-I, Jehovah Rohi. And I want you to check that out so you can really learn what that means. And my whole premise behind teaching this is that names are indicative of our nature. And God is so amazing that if the heavens can't even contain him, because David said, where can I go from the presence of the Lord? If I go to the mountains, thou art there. If I make my bed in Hades, thou art there. So he's talking about the fact that God is omnipresent. And in Psalm 23 in particular, he begins to deal with him as a shepherd. And we use that and compare it to Psalm or John chapter 10, where Jesus starts saying that I am the good shepherd. And he starts talking about all the characteristics of a good shepherd. But when they refer to him as that, they're referring, and when David was referring to him in Psalm 23, he was referring to him as Jehovah Rohi. So that is a powerful, powerful name. And the more we know his name, the more we understand his nature and how he intervenes and interjects in the lives of human affairs. As a result of that, you grow stronger and more intimate in your relationship with God. Think about it from this standpoint. It would be impossible for you to see someone, fall in love with them, and you're in love over a 3-year period of time and you don't know their name. That would be impossible, because their name is going to be reflective of something. And so the more acquainted you are with their name, the better you're going to get to know them. And you're going to see that that person has certain characteristics. And that's why in biblical days, they named their children biblical names, because names meant something back then. They still mean something to us and many of us, but they meant something back then. And every name has some type of spiritual significance. Well, one of the things we find out about God is that God has over 80 different names or titles given to him in the Bible, from Genesis to Revelation. And so if you get a chance, go back and check out this week's Bible study, just the other day, Wednesday, and then you can go back and check out the previous ones, and you'll see that there's a part 1, part 2, part 3, and there'll probably be a part 4 coming up here real soon that I'll do on the names of God. And that's something that I've never done before. I've studied it on my own quite a bit, but I've never taught it like this. And I think that every name we give you, and this is my goal, every name we give you is going to be reflective of a certain nature of God and a characteristic of God and how he moves and intervenes as that. Like Jehovah Rohi is completely different than Jehovah Jireh and Adonai and Elohim. And all those names represent something different that's different about his nature, that shows you something about his character. So go back and check that out when you get a chance. And like I say, this week it was on John chapter 10 and Psalm 23. And we dealt with him because in Psalm 23, he's referred to as Jehovah Rohi. So I see some more of you guys coming in. And Miss Watts is in the house. Thank you for being here. D. Davis is in the house. Appreciate you being here with us on today. James Ward, I think I hit your name before. I hope I did. I think I've gotten just about everybody that's come on. And again, as you guys come on. And if we don't know you, make sure that you let us know, hey, it's my first time watching, or I'm from out of state, I'm from Ohio, I'm from wherever. And we're definitely going to make sure that we give you a quick shout out. Now, today is going to be about Flow With Us Friday. And on Flow With Us Friday, we talk about a variety of things, anything from current news to what's happening in our lives, in our marriage, in our relationship, or with our kids, and the whole nine. And then we also address some things that you guys throw out to us on the feed. So if you have some questions about some things, make sure that you throw one out there. Will it be a second meeting or webinar update if we aren't able to attend this? There'll be another one. It will probably be in a couple of months, a month or two away. And on the next one, I'll either do one of two things. Glad you asked that, because that's a great question. But I'll either do a repeat of this one, the one that I'm going to do tomorrow, or I'll do the next one, which will be part 4 of financial literacy. And again, this one is on establishing a financial legacy. So that is so important. And one of the reasons why I'm passionate about it is that if you think about a lot of cultures, um, she's joning on me about the name. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But if you think about cultures, a lot of cultures in our society are very gifted and very skilled and very disciplined at not just making a living and raising their kids throughout the course of their lifetime, but building a financial reservoir, if you will, so that they can leave a legacy for their kids, that they can leave, whether that be $100,000, whether it's $200,000, whether it's $500,000, $1 million. And you can even do that through life insurance as well. And we'll talk about that on tomorrow. And many times in our cultures, at least with some in our culture, the only thing some people leave is bills. And we really got to graduate the mentality beyond all of that. And so tomorrow we're going to really be talking about how to establish a financial legacy. And for those of you guys that's going to be on tomorrow, do me a favor and make sure that if you don't know, that you reach out to your HR or wherever your retirements are, and know how much you have in your retirement account, because retirement is not an age. I've heard a million people tell me, I'm retiring at 65, and they were broke. And I would explain to them that retirement is not an age, it's a number. There's a number that you need to be trying to go after and intensifying your monthly contributions to your 401k, 403b, 457, Roth, whatever it is that you have, that you should be contributing to that in order that you can be in a position to leave your husband, if you have one, or your wife, or your spouse and your children. The purpose of even life insurance is to make sure that you have not just enough, but more than enough. What you want to try to be able to do is replace that other person's income if something happens to you. So we'll deal with a lot of those things tomorrow. And then we'll talk to you about some strategies and things that you can use and things that you can do. If you're 50 years old or up, make sure if you're going to be on tomorrow that you ask me that question about those that are 50 and up, because they got something special that people that are around that age of 50 can do that other people cannot do. They can literally double the amount that they're putting in their retirement. So you got to learn how to live on less if you want to be able to establish something for the future. And we'll deal with all of that tomorrow. And that is leaving a financial legacy for your family. That's what we're talking about on tomorrow. So thank you for that question. Again, if you guys want to be a part of that, and I hope you help me spread it out. I need to do a video. I'll do a video later on today because I haven't done enough of that to kind of get it out like I did last time. We've been really busy. So I'll do one later on today and make sure that I put that out, give you the information on that and the link so that you can just click on it and be able to go in and get registered for it on tomorrow. 10 a.m. to 12 noon will be our time together tomorrow, and it's going to be a great time. Now, I got to tell you about this workout that we've been doing, working out. We've been doing it now probably about 8 months. And ever since I had my last surgery, when I got out of the hospital, that was the weakest I've ever felt in my life as an adult. It's like I just shriveled up. I had no strength at all. And so Ms. Robin, she took us where we were. You know, we started where we were and just started trying to build from there. It's not like I've arrived yet, but we've seen some great progress so that we're both feeling well. Sometimes being in good shape is not necessarily about gaining weight or losing weight, but it's just about being in good condition and being the best version of whatever your age is that you have. Because the reality is that no matter how much vision we have for our life, we have to store that vision in a house of clay. So God's not going to get our temples in shape for us. That's something that we got to do. And the better we are at taking care of that, then the more longevity, hopefully, we can have on this earth to accomplish the things that God has for us. So that really was our big motivator. You say reach out to? No, Ashley, the person that I want you to reach out to will be on the feed with us tomorrow. And that'll be Miss Lauren. She'll be on there with us. And I'm going to get in contact with Tamika because she sets up the feed for us. and make sure that she can get Lauren on live so we can deal with that. I'll deal with it anyways, but she's able to deal with it on the next level. So we'll definitely try to make sure that we can get her into that feed and be ready to roll on tomorrow. Now, you guys have any questions or anything that you want to go over as we deal with Flow With Us Friday, make sure that you throw it out there. And like I say, we always have a good time. We've missed you guys over the last 2 weeks. It's been a lot. Now, we will take a break this summer. We will take a break this summer. We haven't established when that break is going to be and how long that break is going to be and so forth, but just during family vacations and things of that nature. Now, there's a possibility that we might do a stream from a vacation, maybe on one of those weeks. So, but we'll talk that out with the missus. We'll work it out, and then we'll definitely be letting you guys know. But speaking of that, I really hope that everybody on this feed that works really hard, that you're doing everything you can do to get yourself in a position for you to have a vacation, a quality vacation, not a vacation that you work from. I don't care if the vacation is 2 days because you can't afford more than that. But just taking that time to get away. If Jesus had to get away from the chaos to get renewed and come back to what he did, then that means that you and I got to do the same. And I was the wrong person to talk about this for years because I was horrible at taking vacations. I was horrible. I go somewhere for a couple of days, I'm ready to be back and that type of a thing. But as I've gotten a little bit older, now Mother Nature is telling me, hey, you need this time, this downtime, and we're going to be doing a better job of planning that out and doing what we have to do there. Yeah, I thought there was another question. Okay, I already did that one. She said no no working on vacation, sir. Okay, cool. I'll take your word at that, and I'll abide by that, and we will not be streaming while we are on the vacation. We're gonna have a good time. So again, we appreciate you guys. And you guys chime in and let me know, have you been watching Midweek Bible Study? Regardless of who does it, we got to make that a part of our regimen every single week. And you really should be doing that. If you don't eat more than once a week, if you only eat once a week physically, okay, then go ahead and just eat once a week on Sundays and never worry about Wednesdays. But if you eat several times a day, you also need to be feeding your spirit more than several times a week. There's a lot of ways you can do that, but the number one way that you can do that is by being locked in. Miss Gigi, Miss Sharon is in the house. Good afternoon to you as well. And again, First Lady will be coming in. She should be coming in through the door at any point in time. But again, we've had a great time these last couple of weeks in the things that we were doing with Nashville and with other things that were going on that enabled us so that we weren't in a position to actually do the stream. So we are glad to be back. Next week, we'll be planning out our topics. And that is another thing that we've talked about too, that if you guys have some topics that we haven't dealt with, or maybe we have dealt with that you want us to deal with again, make sure you put that stuff in the feed. If you're watching from YouTube, which I hope some of you are, that you can put it in there. You can also put it in this feed. We'll be able to go back and pull it up, but put some of those topics in. What have we not covered marriage-wise, parenting-wise, family-wise, in-law-wise, that something that you guys need and something that you feel like you could benefit from. What's up, Miss Trudy? I see you in the house. Good to see you. So make sure that you let us know those things, because we want to make sure that the content that we put together is really wrapped around what's going to meet the needs of the people that are taking the time to be a part of our feed every single week. So make sure that you put some of those ideas and thoughts in there if we haven't covered it, or if we have, and you want us to do some more in-depth stuff. I will go back over, I'll write all those things down, and then we'll start making it a point to add those to our topics that we deal with from week to week. And probably about once a week or once a month or twice a month, we do Flow With It Friday. And that's usually where we're kind of clowning a little bit. I don't know if I got enough energy to clown today because I'm tired from these workouts. But we have a great time with it, whether we're doing Flow With Us Friday or whether we're covering topics. But I want to make sure that we continue to hit topics that are relevant for you. So we've covered topics like relationships, establishing relationships, and how to deal with relationships with your in-laws. That can be a challenge for a lot of people that are married. We've dealt with singleness and choices, how to make the right choices as it relates to choosing someone to date or to mate, to marry. We talked about singles that are parents. We've talked about blended families with couples, and we do have are at the end of this month on a Friday night, we're going to be doing a one night stand. And it's not what you think it is, which is the reason why I called it that. I have a book that I wrote called One Night Stand, Avoiding the Pitfalls of Ungodly Relationships. And we used to do one night stand services for our singles at our church and then around the community. People would come from all around the community, and they would really come in strong on that Friday night. We would usually have some entertainment, like some Christian comedian, something like that, a little bit of music, and then I would teach a message, and we would pray for singles, and they would go out. A lot of them would take it upon themselves to put something together and go out, whether it was bowling or do some kind of activity together and have a good, fun night. So this month is going to be at the end of this month on Friday, I think the last Friday of the month. And it's going to be a powerful, powerful time, because in this one night stand, we're going to be doing a panel discussion, and we have panel guests that are going to be absolutely amazing. First Lady and I will be on the panel, but we've got some other people that we're lining up that's going to be in there, and we'll be able to cover everything that you can think of as a single parenting, blended families, because whatever you can ask, we're probably going to have that represented on that panel that's going to be doing Q&A. And you guys know as well as I do that that blended families can be the most wonderful thing you've ever seen. I've seen it in our family with my oldest brother, but at the same time, it can be a challenge getting to that area where they find that sweet spot where everything kind of flows. So we have people that are equipped to give you information that's going to help you with that. And then just do whatever they need to and whatever we need to take your relationships, if you have them, to the next level, or to enable you and empower you to make better quality choices in your relationship choosing. Because a lot of times, the things that we go through, or some of the things that we go through as singles, are avoidable if we make better choices. And I think sometimes when people have waited for a while and get to the point where they really want somebody in their life, sometimes instead of waiting on the blessing, they'll make a blessing. And if you make a blessing, you'll miss a blessing, and the one you missed is going to be bigger than the one that you made. And so that's why it's always important that we wait on God and know how God goes about bringing together relationships. He doesn't bring people together. When it's God, you're going to know it, because he doesn't bring people together by common interest. You like baseball, I like baseball. You like shopping, I like shopping. You like traveling, I like. He doesn't. Those things are bonuses. I mean, if you connect on those levels, that's just bonuses. But he doesn't bring people together by common interest. He brings them together by common purpose, and that's what we're going to talk about on the one night stand. So make sure that you not only come, but that you get all your friends. You don't have to register for that. All you got to do is come out, and again, it's going to be a long period of time on Q&A. So make sure that you write your questions down. That's going to be the place to bring them, because right there in person, we'll have time to address as many of those things that we possibly can. And we've established a period of time where it'll be long enough where we can really cover probably all the questions that you're going to have. And so we want you to be a part of that. If you are single, do not think, well, I'm too old to go to something like that. You're not if you're believing God for a spouse, or you're interested in having some type of relationship. You're not too old to come to that. And don't think that you're too young. Now, we prefer that it's 18 and up, because sometimes the subject matter can get a little bit thick. So we want to make sure that people are at least 18 and up that come out to that. And we'll have a great time together. We'll have a little bit of fellowship. We'll have a little mixer, icebreakers, and that type of a thing. And then we'll jump right on into it. And afterwards, you guys can go hang out if that's what you want to do, whatever you want to do. So we're not planning all that part out. We're planning the one night stand out. So the other thing I want to make sure I made you guys aware of is my new book. My new book is going to be coming out. Let me see if I got one in here. There it is. Yeah, that's what it's going to look like. The new book is going to look like that. And the new book is called Biblical Keys to Maximize Your Marriage. And I just got done reading over the last edit. We probably edited 5, 6 times. But I just got done looking over the last edit. I just sent in the approval. So now it will go to print. Literally, it will go to print. And I can't tell you when it will be out yet, but I know it will be out before the end of May. So be waiting on that, because whether you're single or married, that book I really think is going to be the best one that I've done at this point. And there's so much in there that singles can glean from as well. So we'll do a book signing at the church and all of that, as well as I'll do, book signings when I go speak and things of that nature. So make sure that you check that out and be on the lookout for that over this next month or so, and it will be coming out. So, and keep it up in prayer today too, because I do that. Somebody asked me one time, why do I read books? Why do I write so many books? And I said, because the book is going to outlive me. And it would be a powerful thing to know that you can be in heaven, that you can go on and be with the Lord. And maybe there's some things you left behind that's still helping somebody else, encouraging somebody else, making a difference in their life. So that's one of the reasons why we do it. It hasn't always been lucrative and things of that nature, but it has always been worth it every time we do one. And so we're excited about that. What's up, Bishop? Yep, he saw you coming in, didn't he? He came to the door. Yeah, he came to the door. So yeah, that's everything. That's everything I can think of. That's everything that I wanted to cover with you guys before the missus jumps in here and we finish up our Flow with It Friday today. We haven't flowed much because I've been just going over a lot of different things, from midweek Bible studies, what they've been about, subject matters, how they can go back and watch those, the one night stand that's going to be coming up, the financial workshop on tomorrow, and everything else I could think of. So I think we're good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Great to see everybody.
Yep. They are in the house. If you guys are from out of town, let us know where you're from. Oh, and you're welcome, Dee. Appreciate that. So I try to cover everything I could. I told them we're moving slow today also because of the workout.
Oh my gosh, I know.
That we've been doing.
Well, it seems like she hurt us hard. Whenever we work out together, it's rough.
It is.
Like she's
because normally mine starts about 30 minutes after yours starts.
Yeah, that's how I was like, yeah. So it's a little rough. Did you tell him how Nashville was?
I didn't talk a lot about that.
Because what happened was we were out for Nashville, then was Good Friday.
Yep.
And so now we're back at it.
Yeah, I told him that, with being out with Nashville. But why don't you tell me a little bit about Nashville?
Thanks, Steve. That's why I went to go get my makeup done, because Pastor and I are attending a gala tonight. So I'm trying to do better with my time management instead of trying to get my makeup done later in the afternoon, because we got to get the kids ready, drop the kids off. I was like, well, let me get it done early and then I can make it through the day.
You look nice. You really do.
Being sarcastic. Look, in these sweaty clothes. So look, a full face of makeup. I said I'm going to have to find a way to get cleaned up without getting my face wet.
Yeah, you can't wet your face.
Yeah. So figure it out. But yes, Nashville was amazing. We met some wonderful couples. We met friends of friends that attend New Life. We had a great workshop. Every book that Pastor took sold. It really shows that the people were saying, hey, the Ramseys, we really learned a lot from the Ramseys, which is what we went, to do, was just be our authentic self and share with the different range of couples, different age groups. So it was awesome.
Really, there was a young couple that we came in on their workshop. They had a great one. So everything that we had a chance to sit in on for a few minutes or be able to be there for the whole time through that the speaker was there, everybody in there brought their A game and brought information that was helpful. That's what made it the best marriage conference that I had ever participated in before, because it was really awesome.
Yeah. What was your one takeaway from it? If you could say you can take away one thing from it.
I would say deepening your communication.
Okay.
And how to talk about things that sometimes you're uncomfortable bringing up. How to talk more about things like that. I think that was huge. I think one of the main things that really drove things home to me too is just the fact that communication is a part of marriage that you never graduate from.
Yeah.
And that you have to keep working on it. And it seems that everybody I've been around over the years all say the same similar things.
What is that?
I had Mr. Cole came up to me one time.
And they've been married like over 60 years.
Yeah, they've been married over 60 years. And I was doing a workshop. This was like 5 years ago at the church in the small fellowship hall. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, Pastor, if I knew this back when I first got married, man, it could have made things so much better.
Definitely.
And I'm sitting there like this, looking at him, because they've been married for 60 plus years.
Yes.
And have a great marriage. But that showed me a lot about his heart.
Mhm.
That one of the ways you know your heart is right in your marriage is that you're always seeking to be better yourself individually versus hitting the other person over the hammer. You need to do this, you need to do that. Now there's a place for some of that.
Mhm.
But if we can focus on being the right mate, um, more so than what your mate needs to change, sometimes it helps.
And I think even as a single, because there were quite a few singles that came to that
Oh, there's a
marriage
lot of them.
conference, and they would tell us things like, I just want to do it better the next time, or we're engaged,
Mhm.
we're dating.
Mhm.
You know, they really are thinking ahead.
Yeah.
And starting to learn the principles now. What is it going to take for our marriage there's no perfect marriage out there, but
Mhm.
what is it going to take for us to be able to grow together gracefully?
Absolutely, absolutely. Tell them about the couple where they had divorced and they were working on getting back together. You remember that?
Well, yeah, it was a couple that was divorced,
Mhm.
and he was ex-military, and they came to the conference because he wanted to get back together. They wanted to get back together, and they really, you know, you could tell went through a difficult time, and that's why they had came, and it was really awesome to see that.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
Yeah, awesome to see that. And like I said, we met some great couples. I remember one in particular that they were dating, and they said, okay, we heard what you said about the one credit card. We heard what you said about aggressively paying off debt,
Mhm.
because we're not going to share everything, because Pastor and I are going to do a book together, and we're
Mhm.
going to talk about these 5 principles that we put in place of how you can manage your money
Right.
in marriage successfully, or manage your money successfully in this season of your life. So we're looking forward to doing more in that
Mhm.
realm.
Yeah.
We were able to hear Pastor Keon
Mhm.
and his wife, Lady Shawnee. Many people know her because she is a well-known celebrity. They were great. One
Mhm.
thing about them, they didn't come as experts. They
Yeah.
said right away, we're not experts.
Mhm.
We're sharing with you this new season, because they both were divorced. She had been divorced 12 years. He had been divorced a few years, bringing the blended family together. She had 5 children. He had 1 child. Like, they talked a lot about that, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was really good because they were very, very real about it, but they also had some great insight.
Mhm.
And he gave a lot of great insight about his past. And just one of the things that jumped out to me that he said was that if you're going into a second marriage, you have
Scroll that
children.
down so I could see the
Mhm.
newer, the
If-
comments are
If you
stuck.
have, are they really?
Yeah, because I've seen that
There we
one.
go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah.
That he had a daughter that was 10 years old. That's 10 years old.
Uh-huh.
And he was saying that however old that child is, that's how long it's going to take for that relationship.
The other mother,
The
yes,
other mother,
yes.
that relationship reaches not, obviously we've never been in that situation, but
Yeah.
he is in that situation. So he's going to have a better radar on that than we would. But the point, whether you buy into that completely or not, the point that he was establishing in my mind was it takes a long period of time, and you have to be willing and ready to go the distance before that kid is going to be at a certain level in their relationship with that spouse.
Yes, and he said that, he told her children, you have a dad.
Mm-hmm.
You don't need a dad.
Yep.
But I will be a friend like no other. I will
Yeah.
be a person in your life like no other, because, Shaquille O'Neal is their father,
Mhm.
and he's very active with his children.
Yeah.
So just the fact that he knew how to come in that relationship, you could tell that he studies a lot about women and relationships and things like that,
Mhm.
based off of things he was sharing. But taking his past, you could tell he really learned from his past. And he's still
Yeah.
learning from his past.
It seems like he's still
And
learning.
she was the same way.
Mhm.
Like she said, they had, what was it?
And she's been divorced 12 years.
Yeah, she said they had a 6-hour conversation.
Yeah.
About what they expected from each other and what they expected out of the relationship. And I
Yeah.
thought that was very powerful, because sometimes people date for a long period of time before they have those conversations.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes they wait till they're married to start having
That's true.
conversations.
Yeah, that's true
So
too.
they did that before they got married and everything, and they were just talking about the benefit of that, what that was.
Definitely, definitely. Hello, Jessica. Great to see you. Hi, Dara. It's great to see you too, Tracy, as well. Tracy and her husband went down to Nashville.
Yes.
To the conference. I'm very proud of them, because they
Mhm.
want more out of their relationship. And happy anniversary. I see they've been married 15 years.
That's awesome.
So it is great that there are so many different couples
Mhm.
we met,
Mhm.
and unique couples. So Pastor Ramsey and I are a unique couple. And I said that in the aspect of, having 3 unique children, having this type of ministry we have. So every couple had their own gifts and every couple had their own challenges.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. So if you think you can be married without challenges, then you're not thinking the right way.
No.
And you don't necessarily go into it looking for it, but don't go in there delusional like you're never going to have any. Just have your mindset ready of how a game plan ready for how to actually deal with them. Because, even when we first got married, we were just kind of dealing with it on the fly as it came up. We didn't know what all would come up, what all would be challenges and things of that nature. So it's just a
Right.
learning curve. And the key is that if you stay in school, you can graduate. But if you don't, then you're going to have a tough time bringing your marriage to a place of some level of success.
I like what you just said there about the learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely it. Like we tell you all the time, the Lifetime movies, all that stuff, I don't be, expecting that to happen in real life. I think that was another thing that Bishop Walker and Dr. Stephanie were really real about them coming together.
Right.
One thing she said I thought was powerful when she asked about some of his friendships. She said, well, are they friends or are they fans? I was like, that's awesome.
That
Like,
was really good.
that was really good. Getting him to see, are these people really your friends or are they your fans? Because your friends will not put you in situations that do anything to compromise your marriage.
Right. Right. And one of the things she said too, I thought was awesome, was just the fact that they kind of established right out of the gate that because it's your friend doesn't mean I got to be friends with the wife. And
put a hand clap for that, because we definitely went through that.
Yeah, we learned that. We learned that. And I saw the reason why after that. So, that's something that's really powerful. I can't make somebody be your friend.
Be friends just because
it's cool. The spouse of one of my
Yeah,
friends.
because if the husband's cool with somebody, that don't mean I have to be close to the wife, and I can be cordial to the wife, but it doesn't mean I have to be friends with the wife.
I've had friends tell me before, man, you think maybe First Lady can get with my wife and they can spend some time? I said, man, that's not gonna happen. I just say straight up, that's not gonna happen.
Well, you want it to be authentic. It's not that I'm a mean person.
It's not that, but I would just say, man, that's something that's got to be organic.
Yeah, it's the manifest
something that has
on
to
its
happen
own.
and everything else. I'm not just gonna throw her in that situation. It has to be something she feels led to do, and your spouse feels led to do. And if it comes together, then it comes together. But I'm not gonna force it, because that's not the way to go about doing it.
And both couples said that. So Pastor Keon and Lady Shawnee said that, and Dr. Stephanie and Bishop Walker said that about the relationship. So you may want to do couples night out or game night or spend time with or travel with different couples. Make sure it's the right couples. That you don't have to all be, close, but people that you can genuinely mesh with, have a good time with. You have the same ethical background and the same belief system. It's a good thing to have. But no, it was great. It is important for you to invest in different things that you can grow as a couple. And if you're single, different things that you can do, attend, listen to, books you can read. I see you have your new book up there. To better yourself. Like you said, you always want to grow. Isn't that important, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And people that aren't growing are people that aren't improving. And that's in every area of your life. That's in your work life. You can get so good at your job, you could almost do it blindfold, but does that mean that you settle for that? Or do you read a few more books in that area where you can get better at that job, whatever that job is? Or you can ask your supervisor, whatever, if you can learn some other aspect of the job. But it's very important that you're determined, because if you're not growing in that area, you're going to get real stagnant.
That's true. Here's a question. What about some friends who are single and having couples all together? I think it depends on the situation. My best friend is now single after divorce. So she was married at a time. Pastor, we have family members that are single, used to be married, or that I believe it's a problem if it's a married person and all your friends are single. Like you don't have any strong married couple friends. That's the thing. I think it all depends on the situation.
And I also believe that it's wrong for you to be married and have single friends that are the opposite sex. That's just wrong. It's not gonna work. And sometimes people don't think about that, but that's a deal breaker there.
It's not healthy for the relationship at all. It's
Right.
not healthy for the relationship at all. So you're saying, well, I got to let that friend go. We have to change the guidelines of the friendship. Say,
Yeah.
I'm married now. I can't hang out with you like that. I can't
Mhm.
talk to you like that. You know, one day down the road, you may get married
Mhm.
and we may come back together and do things. But yes, it definitely changes the boundaries and the guidelines of the relationship.
Mm.
Tracy says, amen. Lauren says, I have a close friend. I love her, but God himself will have to come and tell me to travel with her. It's a no from for now. Yeah, because traveling with everybody is not. And there were, you know, people in his life that he was friends with when I met him that he enjoyed being around these people. I didn't. And I was okay with that. And I was okay with, you know, you can be friends with them and hang out with them. I just don't have a desire to.
Mhm.
And us working through the fact of, okay, it's okay
Mhm.
to do that. And then, you know, eventually the friendship changed, but it was something we did talk about.
Yeah, absolutely.
We did talk about.
And it's, I think it's important that you do that too. And because it's not necessarily the fact that your spouse is slighting them as a person,
Mhm.
but sometimes it may, for me, it kind of woke me up to some things as well. When that was her thought process on that. And it kind of woke me up to some things. And later on, I kind of saw some of those things. And that really was helpful in me closing the door to that particular friendship.
Definitely. So Pastor Ramsey and I, it's just Flow With It Friday. Thank you for joining into the family room today. I know it's been a while since we've connected with you. If you get an opportunity, go back and watch Good Friday service from last week. In addition to that, our one night stand is going to be coming up at the end of the month. And we are looking forward to investing time in the singles as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be a great time. We talked about that a little bit earlier, and I'm hoping that everybody comes out strong. It's going to be a good time.
Yeah. Lauren says it's okay to have some separate friendships. Absolutely.
Mhm.
You know, it also can be a problem when people, it's just everything's with their spouse, their spouse, their spouse, their spouse. One day your
Mhm.
spouse isn't going to be here, you're not going to be here.
Mhm.
Then what happens to that individual? You know, they have no relationships outside of their spouse, no good friendships, no godly friendships, nothing solid, no accountability partners, no covenant relationships.
Mhm.
Then they're alone. They have a difficult time functioning. It is good. And then when you have strong accountability, they help you at times and give you different perspective on things at times. What
Yep.
do you say about that?
No, I think that's good. I think it's good to have that. Now, obviously, when you're married, you can't have 50 friends that you're trying to cultivate relationships with because there's just no time for that. But you can definitely have a couple solid relationships that you do things with. And again, they talked about that at the conference. Bishop Walker talked about sometimes his wife will take a trip with some of her friends that she graduated from medical school with, and they go way back to 20s, or whatever, their 20s, early on in their life, in college even, and they will go somewhere for a few days and just have a great time. He said because those friends can relate to her on a level that I can't, because I didn't do that. I didn't pursue that in my
That's true.
school.
Well, he didn't say a few days, but
Mhm.
they have their trip that they go
Yeah,
on.
the trip or whatever. But I mean, I wasn't trying to be precise,
Yeah,
but I'm
no.
just making a point.
But I feel like it is very important. That's something even I'm working with Pastor to do more of. He's just a homebody. He just likes to be at home. But living your life to the fullest is, meeting new people, experiencing new things and doing different things. And we always don't have to like doing the same things.
Right.
That's another thing. People start dating and they're like, well, he don't like to do nothing. So you're just going to stop the relationship because he doesn't like to do anything? What do you have in common? What things can you do together? What do you enjoy doing together?
Yeah. Lauren says, I love my hubby, but I don't want him to be with me all the time.
Yeah. Some people, I see some couples, they're together 24/7. It's like, geez Louise.
She said, you don't need to run every errand with me.
Yeah, you don't even have a chance to miss them. It's learning that aspect too, that you can do things separately.
Yeah. I think that's important. And I think it's really key to having a balanced life. And like I said, like she said, even I talked about that before you got here in terms of that's something that I'm learning to work on. I'm learning to work on, doing some more things and that type of thing. And even, getting to a point where a good friend of mine and I, we went down to one of my favorite running backs, Derrick Henry at Tennessee Titans. Went to see him play a game last year, went down there, stayed overnight, went to a Monday night game, came back.
Was that last year?
It was last
I think
year.
it was the year before last.
For real?
Yes. It wasn't last
I know
year.
she would rain on my parade. But
It, wa-
anyways,
it wasn't last
I
year.
went
so-
though. I went.
It wasn't last year though.
I went. I knew
it
she
was
was
the
going.
year. How did I rain in your
I
parade?
knew she gonna throw something out there to her. I thought it was last year, but whatever it
No,
was,
'cause
my point
we
is,
were in the temporary house.
my
That's why I know.
point is, we did it and we
But-
had a good time.
But the point is too, you got to be consistent.
The point is, you
Because
got to start somewhere.
Because you'll do something.
The point
No,
is,
you'll do something and then you won't do it nothing again for years.
to that years. All right, let's move on to the next subject.
The Pacer games, you missed it. You
Mhm.
stopped doing that for a couple.
I didn't miss going to the Pacers.
Okay, well, you just got to figure out what you want to do.
I like going to some of the games, but
That's all. It was for
This year.
socialization. It was to get out and do something.
I'll be back in the mix next year.
Okay.
I got time. to get
Even
my
football
tickets.
games, you didn't do the Colts games like you love football.
Yeah, I
was
know.
just trying to figure out what
I
it
didn't
is.
want to see the Colts. I couldn't even watch them on TV sometimes.
Okay. So if it's,
But next year, if they got a Monday night, Sunday night, Thursday night, damn, I'm in.
you got to start looking now.
They're gonna be better.
So you're
They're
gonna
be
start
better.
looking now.
They're gonna be better.
So you're gonna start looking now.
Yep. As soon as we get out this line.
Okay.
As soon as we get off the thread, as soon as we get off the stream, I'm gonna go look for it today. How about that?
I hear you.
Okay. All
I hear you.
right. She's always here telling First Lady. Ain't nobody asked you, Miss Tracy.
Taiwan says, yeah, my wife.
Like my father would say, sit down somewhere. I'm just joking. I'm joking.
Taiwan says my wife was going to be going on a girls' trip. You know, those are the things.
Mhm.
Just finding out what you enjoy doing, and same team going to win whether you watch it or not. That's true. Someone said that. Juanita says my husband and I work opposite shifts. I work days and he works nights, and it's awesome. It balances out with us getting
How you
kids
say
off
her
to
last name?
work.
How you say your last name?
It's not her last name. Her name is just Juanita Renee. That's her first and middle name.
Okay.
It balances out with our getting the kids to work and school, and it gives us time to miss each other. If I have to be with him all the time, I will go crazy. Married couples need a break too. I agree. I definitely agree.
You gotta roll your eyes. when
She
you say
said, that's why
that. See, you
we're,
roll your eyes so much, you don't even realize how much you do it. She said, I agree. That's what you did.
I agree. That's all I said.
Then,
I agree.
but then why the eyes gotta be a problem?
Okay, I'm sorry I rolled my eyes, but I agree.
Did you
Tracy,
apologize? Was that a problem?
can you read? Can I? He's just trying to deflect because I said he hasn't went to the
I am.
games.
I am trying to deflect, and
he's
I'm doing a
trying to
good job
deflect.
until you make mention of the fact of what I was doing. I was doing a good job deflecting.
Can you scroll down, please, so I can read those more comments?
Yes.
Tracy said, that's why we're the helpmate. Very true, Tracy.
Thanks, Tracy. I needed that.
Yes. See, LaTanya? Like Jay says, Tanya!
That's
I love
exactly
it.
how he said it.
Helpmate, encouraging to live life abundantly. See, LaTanya, that's exactly what I'm doing. I am trying to encourage Pastor Jonathan Ramsey Sr. to live life abundantly,
Thank you.
not hermit-like,
Thank you.
abundant-like.
Thank you.
Okay?
Mhm.
How are you doing with that?
No, we got to talk about me. We're supposed to be talking.
Well, it's a topic.
How am I doing? Well, you know how I'm doing. Go on, tell them how I'm doing. 'Cause
No,
you know.
I can't put words in your mouth. So
No,
I can't, I
no.
can't assume. This is
I'm
you.
not doing good at that.
Okay, so what is it that you feel that you want to do differently?
I feel like I'm in therapy. Let me lay down. Lay down. I feel.
You see what I deal with?
I feel like I'm in therapy. I wish this chair would lay back. I can put my head on your lap and say, I really feel
He do this in the gym. He do it
like
everywhere.
this is something I need to work on drastically.
You know, eventually our trainer's probably gonna
I
fire
feel
us.
like I'm at Catholic confession right now. I don't have no beads though.
The rosary.
Rosary, that's it.
Okay, Pastor Ramsey.
Yes.
What is it that you feel that you know what? Let's put it like this. What do you want to do?
I want to go to some car shows.
Okay.
They got one in Vegas. That's incredible.
When is it?
I don't know, but I'm gonna find out.
Because a couple years.
And then I want to go to the one in Chicago.
Yeah, and remember a couple. I don't even like car
No.
shows, but 2 years.
You said what? You what?
I don't even like car shows.
Yeah.
But 2 years I took you. It was 2 years I took you, because 1 year I took you to the car show. It was a Valentine's Day and it was freezing. It was just me and you. Another time I took you to a car show, Johnny was with us. We had kids with us.
Okay. Chicago.
So we've gone twice, in Chicago. Once it was just you and I. The other time we had kids with us.
But what you did not know is I just talked to a couple of guys the other day.
But y'all just talking.
About see, I can't get.
I'm sorry.
I can't wait till this camera goes.
Go ahead. You talked to some other guys. Go ahead.
Somebody call 911. But I was talking to some guys the other day, last week, about I want to put a group of people together. I said I was going to call Curtis. Curtis is excellent with this stuff. For him to get the dates and all that on the Chicago car show. And we take a group of people up, guys up, and hang out.
But I think it's in February, so you missed it.
Yeah, I know.
So you're talking about for next year?
Yeah.
Okay, well, what about this year?
Well, this year, I think it's still time for that SEMA show.
The who?
SEMA. You don't know about it.
Okay, well, yeah, we'll look it up.
It's one of the biggest in the world.
Okay, we got to look that up.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is Mama Gigi, Sharon Bradley Davis. My husband and I were together for 50 years. We enjoy each other's company. When you see one, you see the other. But I will say that it makes it hard when the grieving process ends, because you just don't know what to do with yourself.
Yeah.
Because her husband has gone to be with the Lord. You enjoy each other's company. We did absolutely everything together. When people see one, they saw the other. And that's what it makes it hard for her. And I agree. My parents were the same way. They did everything together. And then when one is missing, trying to figure that out with each other.
That's very good, Miss Gigi. Marvin, you're gonna be with us. You're gonna be with us.
You don't be gaslighting. You don't know yet.
No, I know.
All right, I hear you. Ashley says this. Did you ever go to the liquidation store and get your new grill?
Not yet, but I'm going next week. Thank you for reminding me. I'm gonna write that down. I'm going next week, and I'm going to both of them.
You know what, Ashley? Because you did that, I'm gonna buy Reese the loudest noisemaker that I can find.
You gonna buy what now?
Her baby, a noisemaker.
Okay.
Maybe a drum or something to make a whole lot of noise.
Go ahead and buy it.
For you reminding
Because
Pastor
that was
about
a
that
wonderful
grill.
reminder.
I'm gonna get
Now I
one
can
of them
go
horns,
write it down.
one of
I
them,
won't forget.
one of them fart machines. I'm gonna get them something.
There you go.
Ashley.
There you go.
Yeah, I owe you for that one. Jackie Thomas got
But
your
thank
back.
you, because this is the time for grills.
Jackie Thomas has your back. SEMA Car Show in Vegas is October 31st
Bam.
through November 3rd. Look, Ashley says, I'm sorry, please don't. No, I got you, Ashley.
No, she got you. But you did the right thing.
So that car show is in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
That one. So that's something you can start planning for.
Yes, it is.
Okay. Not me.
I ain't asking you to play nothing.
Okay.
I asked you to play nothing.
Oh, you get also you get real bold on here. Okay.
No, I wasn't planning on asking you to play nothing.
Okay. All right.
I could play a little raggedy trip. Me and Tamika. Me and Tamika.
Oh, that's
do it.
okay. That's
We're
why
gonna
you
do
so bold.
Me, Tamika, and Curtis.
That's why you so bold, because you said me and Tamika. Because
Mhm.
I'm looking at you like,
There you go. There
Okay.
you go.
All right. Go ahead, Pastor Ramsey.
Mhm.
Give yourself a hand clap of praise. for
No.
You and Tamika planning your trip.
Don't forget Curtis. Curtis is detailed. You know what I'm saying? Curtis is detailed. He'll have you knowing information you don't even need to know.
I plan my trip.
I'm playing my own little raggedy trip.
Okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, God bless you.
SEMA show. That's
October.
I might have to come back with some Rams or something.
Let me ask you this. Do you still want to play golf? Are you interested in that?
Not as much as I thought it would be.
Everything has to be
She
raggedy.
said, why does it have to be raggedy?
Because he's like that. He's like that.
Because
With everything.
that is the way.
Okay,
I
so
communicate.
you're not interested in playing golf. What did
No,
you
we
like
just got
about
done
it?
talking about the show. Why I got to come up with two things?
That's the show is October.
I know, I
This
get
is
that.
only
I know, I
April.
get that. All right, let's go back to therapy.
Look at Tony with a
I
golf.
plan on-
Exactly. Well, the reason I bought this up is because I found out through an anonymous source that he got rid of his golf clubs and I didn't know it.
That anonymous source is a sellout.
Yeah, they snitched.
But I put
on
the
me.
money in Judith's account for her.
But that was for you to get out, meet people, doing different
And I
activity.
can get clubs. That clubs ain't hard to get.
But if you don't like it, don't do it. If you don't like it, you don't. Oh, Tony. So what's bowling? So what are we gonna do with bowling?
Just got my ball last week.
So you bought your own ball. So what are we gonna do
And
with
shoes, because I ain't wearing nobody's shoes.
it? Okay. So what are you gonna do with it?
I'm gonna start playing with Keith a little bit. And Ty. Me and Ty gonna play
Okay. When are we gonna do this?
next week.
Do we have it planned?
No.
Is it on the calendar?
But we're men. All I gotta do is call and say, hey man, you wanna bowl next Tuesday? Next
But
Thursday?
no, because then we got to realize there's, track
Saturday.
meets, there's stuff going on, with the family, you got this going that. So
I'll work on it. Why I gotta work it out on the screen?
I'm just making,
Dr. Ramsey, why do I have to work out the details on the screen?
I'm just letting them know that
I've been taking my
as-
medication.
As a couple, and
exercising
even as a married
3
couple,
times a
we
week.
work together to make sure we have a balanced life.
Yeah, but we don't have to work it all out on the screen.
All right.
Can I get an amen from anybody that's listening right now?
No, but it just shows them that
I'm in therapy.
this is what you have to do as a couple.
Mhm.
All right.
Well,
I take the jokes.
talk about it.
And I'm taking it. Tony says, come on, Pastor. Keith, go every Sunday afternoon. You need to break in those new shoes and ball.
All right, I'll go with him this week. I'm gonna call him. Say I'm going. Tell him I'm going, Tony. I ain't going all the way to the other side of town for that raggedy place he was going to, but we can go right up the street.
You see all these, you see how he put in those stipulations? At first he said he was going, and then he starts adding these addendums.
No, I'll go with him. I'll go over there.
Nah, see?
I'll go because it is cheap over there. It is cheap over there. I'll go.
James Hopkins says this, do you guys know where we can find a carpeted basketball court?
Carpet. I never heard of it.
I
Carpet basketball court?
didn't know about that. It's probably better on your legs. Maybe that's why he's saying that.
I've got no answer.
I don't know.
on
That's a
that.
good question, but not sure. But maybe somebody knows that watches this. Tracy says this, look at him. It's stressing him out. I know.
Stressing me out.
It does when I ask the
it ain't
questions
stressing me
because
out.
I start asking like the details of it.
It
Okay,
is.
where are you going? Who are you going with? What time are you going? What day are you going? And then he's, I'm just not going.
Is that what I said?
Yeah. But
Sure.
you said Sunday. But you said Sunday, then like I said, you put the addendum in there
No,
that
I'm
I'm
going
not
Sunday.
going to
Tony,
that place.
Tell him I'm going to the Raggedy Bowling Alley. I'm going. I have my ball with me and everything else. Be fine.
Okay, babe.
Ain't bowled in a couple decades, but it's gonna be fun.
Whatever you say.
Then
Sounds
I'm
like
gonna do a
plan.
post like I bowled 200.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Like he be in the gym. Don't record that. Don't record that.
Yeah, because
He be telling the trainer, like for me, like if I'm struggling, I don't care. I'm struggling. He
I'll be struggling on most of
he
them
be
when she
like,
records.
don't record that. Don't record
Now,
that.
there's a difference between struggling. I don't care about her filming the struggling ones when I'm struggling. That's just realistic. But when my stuff is all jacked,
But to me, that's like if we struggling. But you
That's-
know what?
that's a
One thing I
different
said
level of
though,
struggle.
but we are gonna do something to get our cardio up because
Mhm.
that's what it is. It's that cardio.
Yeah.
I don't like that whole breathing like.
well, you got better cardio than I have.
No, I was struggling today. Nope. I was struggling today. But let me tell you
work
this.
a lot more on cardio than I've been working on it lately.
But the weather's nice. We can get back out at it. Tina Amy is going to be starting her bike classes. We'll take one of those.
The stationary bike?
I told her I'm only doing the beginning class.
The stationary bike thing?
Yeah, but they do this whole, and they be doing like a whole lot of stuff on the bikes. It's different level.
Mm.
But we'll try that.
Tell me how it is.
No, we're going to try it together. My husband does the same thing. He says he's going to even actually leave the house. As soon as he leaves, I'm timing the call or the door with the phrase, I changed my mind.
I don't do that. I don't leave and say I changed my mind.
All right. Okay.
Well, this has been wonderful.
It has been a wonderful discussion. Aren't you glad that I
Except for
said
the
what you
last
joined?
25 minutes.
I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. Yeah. But we're so glad that you joined us today for Flow With It Friday in the family room.
Yes, we are.
And we want you to make sure you tune in on a regular basis because we want to continue to talk about the topics that you suggested. And if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Pastor and I are looking forward to giving you more information about, dating, couples, relationships, faith, finances.
Mhm.
We talk about that.
Absolutely.
And family.
Yep.
Family, faith, and finances.
Sign up for the workshop tomorrow at 10 a.m. to 12 noon, and it's going to be a good time. And we won't be
Okay.
talking about recreational personal time tomorrow.
Okay. James says when New Life acquired the previous Traders Point building off Lafayette Road, I remember there was a carpeted basketball court. Our son went to daycare there and loved playing.
Ooh, I don't remember that, but,
So,
but if we had
okay.
one, we don't now.
You're right,
Mhm.
right. But I understand. That's good. That's good. Thank you. Tina Johnson says, I love Pastor bought a ball, but it's not sure when he is going. He bought the shoes and the ball, Tina.
I still
so-
gotta have the holes drilled in the ball,
But
but they'll do it when I go.
He's focused on it. Definitely. All right. As we get ready to close out, if you have a prayer request, anything it may be, but dating, relationships, trying to find what you enjoy doing, trusting new friendships, anything that we talked about,
Yes, it's been wonderful.
anything that we talked about today and you want prayer for it, you can put your name in the thread, put a hand emoji in the thread, or put someone else's name in the thread that may be struggling with one of these items.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And if you want to support the family room, we'd love for you all to support that.
Mhm.
And you can do that two different ways. You can use the Cash App information on your screen, or you can text the word give
Yeah.
to 844-972-3594.
Definitely. We definitely will pray for your aunt,
I
Jessica.
want prayer for recreational
that has
activities.
bone cancer. Yeah, we are going to pray for you with bone, with recreational activities.
Mhm.
Her aunt has bone cancer, Jessica, so we definitely will pray for her.
Okay, yeah, definitely. Definitely. You ready?
All right, definitely. And yes, so everyone that is in the thread, someone misses their mom. It's been a year now
Mhm.
that she's gone. We definitely will. And I know as Mother's Day approaches, it gets very difficult for those who have lost their mother.
Yeah.
All right, Pastor?
Ready? Let's
Yes.
pray. Father, we pray right now in the name of Jesus. We lift up those that are in need. We lift up those that are challenged by certain things in life right now.
Yes.
We pray over this bone cancer situation
Yes,
that you
God.
would bless our sister, that you
Yes,
would minister to
Lord.
her, and that you would literally, God, use your power and use, as well as the medical profession, you would use your anointing and your Holy Spirit, God, to drive infirmity out of her body
Yes,
and
God.
bring her to a place where she is whole and her body's been restored like new.
Yes,
We pray
God.
for those that are dealing with the loss of a parent, God, as we approach Mother's Day, that you would bless them, that you would encourage them, and that you would make this Mother's Day meaningful for them, Lord. Let it not be a day of mourning, but let it
Yes,
be
Lord.
a day of celebrating their memory and who they were and what they did and how they deposited
Yes,
into our
God.
lives, God. Let that be our focus on that particular day, Lord. And I pray for every other need that's in the thread, whether it's economical, whether it's physical, whether it's relational, God, that you know all about it, and that you would just meet and supply every single need.
Yes, God.
And we'll be certain to give you praise for all things. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
You guys have an amazing rest of your week.
Had wonderful attendance on Sunday at Easter. We would look forward to seeing y'all physically in the
person,
house.
in person.
In person at 9 or 12 this Sunday